Have you ever felt completely alone in the world, like there's no one there to help you, like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you're carrying it all by yourself? That feeling, that emptiness, that isolation is something we all experience at some point. It's not easy, it's painful, it makes you question if you're cut out for the challenges life throws at you. But let me tell you something, you are, and here's the truth, that feeling of being alone can be one of your greatest strengths. When you're alone, you are forced to rely on yourself. You learn to trust your instincts. You begin to discover what you're really made of. And here's the kicker. You start to realize that the strength you need to push forward has been inside you all along. Being alone isn't a curse, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to grow, to find your resilience, and to realize your potential. It's the very foundation on which greatness is built. Let me give you a phrase to remember today. I did it alone. I keep going. That is the mindset of those who rise above their circumstances. That is the mentality that turns ordinary people into extraordinary ones. You see, the truth is we've all been led to believe that success depends on the support and validation of others. That you need a team, a mentor, a cheerleader, someone to hold your hand along the way. But here's the harsh reality. Sometimes you won't have anyone there. Sometimes it's just you. But guess what? That's exactly when you need to dig the deepest. That's when you need to be your own support, your own motivation, your own cheerleader. When you say, I did it alone, you are making a declaration that you trust yourself. You are stepping into your own power. This is about perseverance, self-reliance, and an unshakable belief in your own ability to move forward, no matter what. This is the truth. You can do it alone, and you will keep going no matter how hard it gets. I'm not here to sugarcoat things. I'm not here to tell you that the road ahead will be easy. It won't be. But by the end of this talk, you'll see something clearly. The real power doesn't come from external validation, from waiting for someone to give you permission. It comes from doing it yourself. From standing up when no one is around to pick you up. From continuing even when everyone else has given up. By the end of this, you will understand that the strength you need to push forward in life is already inside you. You don't need someone else to tell you it's okay to keep going. I'm telling you, you have everything you need within you. I did it alone, and I keep going. And so will you. Here's a truth bomb for you. You don't need anyone's help to build the life you want. That's right. You've been told over and over again that success requires a team, that you need a network, that you need to rely on other people to get where you want to go. Let me ask you this. Who told you that? Why do we believe that success can only come with the help of others? Look around. There's no shortage of stories about people who did it on their own, who walked alone and still made it to the top. And guess what? They did it because they believed in themselves. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for someone else to approve their dreams. They just went after it. That's the power of doing it alone. So stop waiting for someone to validate you. Stop waiting for someone to give you the green light. You are your own validation. You don't need a team to win. You need determination. You need persistence. You need yourself. Let me give you a few examples of people who achieved greatness alone. Take Steve Jobs, for example. He was ousted from the company he co-founded. Alone, fired, left with nothing. But instead of crumbling under the pressure, he rose up. He didn't wait for someone else to save him. He went back to what he knew, built next, and eventually Apple rose from the ashes. Then there's Michael Jordan. Yes, he was cut from his high school basketball team. But did he let that define him? No. He didn't wait for a coach to tell him he was good enough. He got better on his own. He kept pushing himself until he became the greatest player the world has ever seen. And don't forget Frida Kahlo. She painted her pain, her struggles, her isolation. She didn't need approval to create her masterpieces. She did it on her own. And today, she's remembered as one of the greatest artists of all time. All these individuals had one thing in common. They didn't rely on others. They found strength in their own ability to keep going. They believed in themselves when no one else would. Let me be clear. Being alone doesn't mean being isolated. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to stand on your own. And that strength is the key to unlocking your true potential. Think about a lone wolf for a moment. A wolf isn't weak because it hunts alone, it's strong. It's smart, it's independent. Sure, it faces challenges on its own, but it survives and thrives because it knows how to rely on itself. It's not afraid of the silence because it knows that silence breeds strength. That's what doing it alone can teach you. It forces you to discover parts of yourself you never knew existed. It challenges you to find your resilience, your courage, your ability to keep going no matter what. And trust me, when you finally learn to stand on your own 2 feet, you'll realize that no one else can ever take that strength from you. Think back to a time when you had no choice but to rely on yourself. Maybe it was a time when you had to make a difficult decision alone. Maybe it was a moment of failure where no one was there to pick you up. Maybe it was when you fought through an obstacle that seemed impossible. How did you feel in that moment? Scared, alone, unsure? But what happened next? Did you crumble or did you rise? Let me tell you something. That moment, no matter how tough it was, taught you something valuable. It showed you that you are capable. It showed you that you have the ability to overcome. And now when life knocks you down, you can remember that moment and know deep in your bones, you've been through worse and you survived. You'll keep going. Fear is a constant in life. It doesn't matter how successful you become, how far you go, fear will always be there. It's that nagging voice in the back of your head telling you you're not good enough, telling you that you'll fail. But let me tell you something, fear doesn't define you. What defines you is how you respond to it. Fear will always be there, lurking in the shadows. But here's the truth. If you let fear control you, it will hold you back for the rest of your life. If you let fear dictate your actions, you'll never reach your full potential. The question isn't whether fear exists, it does. The real question is, what are you going to do about it? Instead of running from fear, learn to use it. Fear isn't there to stop you, it's there to guide you. Think of it like the engine light in your car. It's not telling you to stop driving, it's telling you something important is happening. Fear shows up when you're on the verge of something great. It shows up when you're pushing past your limits, when you're stretching yourself further than you've ever gone before. It's like that warning light. It's not meant to stop you, it's meant to remind you that growth is happening. So the next time fear knocks at your door, don't run, don't hide, embrace it. Use it as your guide, because fear is only a sign that you're moving in the right direction. Everyone doubts themselves. Every single person who has ever achieved something remarkable has faced doubt. It's normal. It's part of the process. But here's the key. Doubt is not the enemy. It's how you respond to it that matters. Doubt is just a signal. It's not telling you that you're weak. It's telling you that you care, that you're pushing yourself to the limit. Doubt means you're growing. And here's the kicker. The more you face your doubt, the more you overcome it, the stronger you get. So when doubt creeps in, don't let it stop you. Don't let it paralyze you. Use it to fuel your next move. Turn that doubt into determination. Let me ask you this. Do you believe in yourself? Deep down, do you truly believe that you have the power to shape your own life, to break through obstacles, to stand tall in the face of adversity? Here's the truth. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. The world isn't always going to cheer you on. The world won't always see your worth. People will doubt you. People will tell you that you can't do it, that you're not strong enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. But here's the kicker. Those people don't know you like you know yourself. The world will always believe in you, but the only belief that matters is the belief you have in yourself. Belief is the foundation of everything. Without it, you'll be swayed by every setback, every criticism. But when you have belief, you become unshakable. Belief in yourself is the rock you stand on when everything else around you crumbles. You must start with self-belief. Build that inner foundation, and nothing can knock you down. Here's a powerful truth. You are the sculptor of your own destiny. No one else can mold you. You are in full control of your life. The path you walk, the choices you make, the challenges you face, it's all in your hands. Self-reliance doesn't mean doing it all alone. It means having the confidence to know that you don't need anyone else's permission to succeed. You have the power to create the life you want. You don't need someone else to tell you it's possible. You need to believe that it's possible for you. Think about this. If you're always waiting for someone else to pick you up, to hand you opportunities, or to push you forward, you'll always be dependent on external factors. But when you take charge, when you learn to rely on yourself, you unlock an unlimited potential within you. You stop being a passenger in your own life. You become the driver, and you determine where your destination will be. The power to create change is within you. It's always been within you. All you have to do is trust yourself enough to take that first step. Be the architect of your own future. You know how you build muscle in the gym, right? It's not just about lifting weights once and hoping for the best. It's about consistent effort over time. The more you train, the stronger you get. Confidence works the same way. It's a muscle that needs to be exercised over and over again. Here's the thing, confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And you build it by taking action. Every time you face fear and do it anyway, every time you step outside your comfort zone, you're building that muscle. And let me tell you this, the stronger your confidence muscle, the less power fear, doubt, and uncertainty will have over you. Confidence doesn't mean you're never scared. It means you know that you can handle whatever comes your way. You trust yourself enough to act, even when the outcome is uncertain. And the more you do this, the more natural confidence becomes. It's simple. The more you practice believing in yourself, the easier it becomes. And just like any muscle, the more you flex your confidence, the stronger you'll get. Here's the key. You've got to believe. You've got to push forward. You've got to keep going, even when it feels impossible. Self-belief is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice. You can't just believe in yourself one day and expect everything to fall into place. It's the consistency of belief that builds momentum. When things get tough, and they will, you can't give up on yourself. You can't give in to the voice that tells you it's too hard, that you're not cut out for this. That's when you've got to dig in deeper. You've got to remind yourself, I've got this, I believe in myself, I will keep going. That's what separates the dreamers from the achievers. The achievers keep going even when the road is hard. They keep believing even when they don't see immediate results. And that belief compounds over time, creating a force so powerful that it can't be stopped. I know it's tough, but I also know you've got what it takes to keep going. Don't stop now. Don't quit on yourself. The consistency of belief is what will take you further than you can even imagine. Do you think success comes without struggle? Think again. Every challenge, every setback, every failure is not something to be afraid of. It's a step forward. It's part of the process. Consider this. A diamond doesn't become a diamond without pressure. A lump of coal needs intense heat and pressure to transform into something extraordinary. The same goes for you. The struggles you face, the challenges you overcome, those are the things that will shape you into the person you are meant to be. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It doesn't happen when things are easy. Growth happens when you're pushed, when you're tested, when you're forced to step outside of what's familiar. And let me tell you something. You are capable of more than you realize. You are more resilient, stronger, and more powerful than you give yourself credit for. So the next time you face a challenge, don't see it as a barrier. See it as an opportunity for growth. Every challenge is your chance to become a better version of yourself. Here's the truth. The only way you fail is if you give up. You can be knocked down 100 times, but as long as you keep getting back up, you will never fail. Think about people who have faced unimaginable adversity. Think about someone like Oprah Winfrey, who was told she was unfit for television and faced rejection after rejection. But did she give up? No, she kept going. She kept pushing. And today, she is one of the most influential women in the world. What about J.K. Rowling? She was rejected by multiple publishers before finally finding success with Harry Potter. But did she stop? No, she pushed through the pain of rejection and kept going. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent, it's resilience. It's the ability to face hardship, to get knocked down and then get back up again. The people who win are the ones who never stop trying. I can be real with you. There will come a point in your journey when you'll want to quit. The pain will feel unbearable. The struggle will feel endless. And in that moment, you have two choices. You can quit or you can push through. Let me ask you something. Do you think your heroes, the ones you look up to, the ones you admire, got where they are by quitting? No. They pushed through the pain. They pushed through the fear. They kept going when everyone else gave up. Pain is a part of the process. It's the fire that forges you. It's the resistance that makes you stronger. So when you're facing that tipping point, when you're ready to give up, remember this. You're not done yet. You're just getting started. Push through the pain. On the other side is the person you're meant to be, and you will be stronger for it. You are the blacksmith of your own life. Every challenge you face is the fire that shapes you. It's the hammer that molds you. Without struggle, without pressure, you would never become the person you're capable of being. And here's the thing, pain doesn't last forever, but the strength you gain from it, that stays with you forever. Every time you face something hard and come out stronger on the other side, you're building your future self. You're creating a version of you that can't be broken no matter what life throws your way. So don't run from pain, embrace it, know that's part of your transformation. You are being forged in the fire. And when you emerge, you will be unshakable. Purpose is the invisible force that drives everything you do. It's the reason you wake up in the morning and the fuel that keeps you going even when everything else seems to be falling apart. When you have a purpose, everything changes. Challenges no longer seem as insurmountable, and setbacks become stepping stones. The power of purpose is undeniable. Think about the most successful people in history. They didn't just succeed because they were talented or lucky. They succeeded because they had a clear purpose. They had something to fight for, something bigger than themselves. Whether it was changing the world, helping others, or achieving their own personal dreams, their purpose was their North Star, guiding them through the darkest times. If you don't know your purpose yet, don't worry. It can take time to discover. But the key is to start searching for it, to reflect on what matters most to you. Ask yourself, what do I care about deeply? What legacy do I want to leave behind? Your purpose doesn't have to be world-changing, but it should be something that excites you, something that pushes you forward every day. When you know your purpose, adversity becomes something you can conquer, not something that will defeat you. Purpose provides perspective. It helps you see beyond the current pain and struggle and reminds you that there is a greater reason behind everything you're going through. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. The climb is steep, the path is rocky, and it's exhausting. But if you know that the view from the top will be worth it, if you understand the purpose behind the climb, then the effort feels less overwhelming. Purpose turns the impossible into something possible. When life throws obstacles in your way, remember your purpose. Let it be the anchor that keeps you steady when everything around you feels uncertain. With purpose, even the hardest challenges become manageable because you know that the struggle is part of something bigger. It's not just a random hardship, it's part of the journey toward fulfilling your purpose. Passion and purpose go hand in hand. Purpose gives your life direction, while passion provides the energy to move forward. Without passion, your purpose can feel like a distant dream. Passion is what turns your dreams into action, and without it, the road to achieving your purpose can feel long and discouraging. To find your passion, think about what excites you. What makes you feel alive? What activities make you lose track of time because you're so engrossed in them? It could be anything from writing to helping others to solving complex problems. Whatever it is, your passion is the spark that ignites your purpose. Passion can sometimes be tricky to identify. It's easy to get lost in the demands of everyday life and forget what lights you up inside. But when you take the time to connect with your true interests and values, your passion becomes clear. And once you've found it, let it fuel your journey. Use it to propel yourself toward your purpose, even when obstacles arise. Purpose is the secret ingredient to consistency. When you have a purpose, you don't need external motivation to keep going. You're intrinsically driven. Your purpose becomes the reason you show up every day, even when things are tough. Think of athletes. They don't just practice for the sake of practicing. They practice because they want to achieve a goal, whether that's winning a championship, improving their skills, or simply being the best version of themselves. It's the purpose behind their practice that keeps them going, not the occasional applause or recognition. Purpose drives consistency, and consistency is what leads to success. The same goes for you. When you have a purpose, you'll find the strength to keep showing up even when you don't feel like it. Purpose makes you resilient because it reminds you that every small step you take is part of a bigger picture. And in the end, it's the consistent effort day after day that will lead you to the success you're working toward. The true power of purpose lies in alignment. It's not enough to just have a purpose. It's about making sure that every action you take aligns with that purpose. When your daily choices reflect your purpose, you'll find yourself on a path that feels right. Every decision becomes easier because you know exactly what you're working toward. But if your actions aren't aligned with your purpose, you'll feel stuck, lost, and unfulfilled. You'll be going through the motions without making any real progress. This misalignment is what causes frustration and burnout. To stay aligned with your purpose, regularly check in with yourself. Ask, does this action bring me closer to my purpose? Is this decision in line with what I value most? If the answer is no, it's time to adjust course. You have the power to redirect your energy and focus on what truly matters. Living with purpose isn't just about achieving big goals. It's about integrating purpose into your everyday life. It's about waking up each morning with intention to make a difference, whether it's in your work, your relationships, or your personal growth. Living with purpose means bringing meaning to even the smallest tasks. If you approach every day with purpose, you'll start to see life through a different lens. The mundane will become meaningful, and the ordinary will feel extraordinary. Purpose transforms every moment, giving you a sense of fulfillment in everything you do. Purpose doesn't have to be grandiose. It doesn't need to be about changing the world. It can simply be about living authentically, doing what matters most to you, and making a positive impact in your own way. And when you live this way, you'll find that your life becomes richer, fuller, and more rewarding. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of success. It's what separates those who achieve their goals from those who simply dream about them. While talent and luck play a role, it's self-discipline that determines whether or not you'll reach the finish line. It's the ability to stay focused, to keep going when it's tough, and to make consistent progress toward your goals day after day. Think about it. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the discipline to back it up, that talent will go to waste. On the other hand, if you lack natural ability but have the self-discipline to keep working, you'll surpass those who rely on talent alone. Self-discipline turns dreams into reality. The beauty of self-discipline is that it's a skill you can develop. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build over time. The more you practice self-discipline, the stronger it gets. And soon it becomes second nature. It's like training a muscle. The more you work at it, the more powerful it becomes. Self-discipline isn't easy. It requires sacrifice, delayed gratification, and the ability to say no to distractions. It's about resisting the temptation to take the easy way out and instead choosing the harder, more rewarding path. So why is it so hard? The answer lies in human nature. Our brains are wired for pleasure and instant rewards, and it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking comfort rather than doing the hard work that leads to long-term success. But true growth comes from pushing through that discomfort, from resisting the urge to take shortcuts. If you're struggling with self-discipline, don't be too hard on yourself. It's a challenge for everyone. The key is to start small and build momentum. Over time, you'll strengthen your self-discipline and it'll become easier to stay on track. Habits are the building blocks of self-discipline. The more positive habits you form, the easier it becomes to stay disciplined. When something becomes a habit, you don't have to think about it, you just do it. And that's the power of self-discipline. It becomes automatic. Start by identifying the habits that will support your goals. Maybe it's waking up earlier, exercising regularly, or setting aside time each day for focused work. Once you establish these habits, they'll require less mental energy to maintain, and you'll be able to focus on bigger challenges. It takes time to form habits, so don't expect instant results. But once a habit is ingrained, it becomes a powerful tool for achieving your goals. Let me tell you something. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. You don't need the approval of others to accomplish your dreams, to take that first step, or to keep moving forward. The world will tell you it's impossible. People will doubt you. There will be times when it feels like you're the only one who believes in what you're doing. But hear me loud and clear. You can do this alone, and you can keep going. You see, greatness isn't a group activity. It's a solitary journey. The road is long, it's tough, and it often feels like no one understands. But guess what? You are capable, and you have everything inside of you to break through the barriers. The power to change your life, to make a difference, to step into your potential is already within you. All you need is the courage to take that first step and the determination to keep going even when it's hard, even when the world seems quiet. You can do it alone, and you can keep going. Don't wait for anyone else to tell you you're ready. You are ready right now. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and keep moving forward. Your greatness is yours for the taking. Now, here's where I challenge you. Are you ready to stop making excuses? Are you ready to face your fears and rise above them? It's easy to make excuses. It's easy to sit back, blame circumstances, and let life pass you by. But that's not the life you want. That's not the life you're capable of. The truth is, the only thing standing between you and your dreams is your own refusal to take action. You've already faced challenges. You've already overcome obstacles, and yet you're still standing here. That's strength. That's resilience. But it's time to stop hiding behind comfort and excuses. The choice is yours. Stay stuck or keep moving forward. You've got the power to change your situation, to transform your life, but only if you take action. You've got what it takes, but action is the key. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment, the right time, the right people. The time is now. Will you take that first step? Will you face the fear, the doubt, the uncertainty, or will you let it control you? The choice is yours. You can either keep making excuses or you can face your fears and keep going. Your journey starts today. This moment right now is your starting line. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter how far you think you have to go. What matters is that you take that first step. You did it alone, and you'll keep going. This is not the time to look back or second guess yourself. It's a time to keep moving forward, step by step, even when it's hard. Because when you look back, you'll see how far you've come, how much you've grown, and how strong you really are. And you'll realize that the hardest part wasn't getting there, it was starting. So here's my call to action. Your time is now. It's time to step forward and keep going. You've already proven that you can do it alone, and you'll keep going because that's what people who change the world do. They keep going. And that's what you're going to do. Let's go.